Question. What is the breath of life? Anybody have an answer?
Breath of God.
What is the breath of life? Like, what is it?
It's God Himself.
God Himself? Anybody else?
Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit? Anybody else? What is the breath of life? Jesus? Okay. Anybody else?
Are you talking about just like
In Genesis 2:7, the breath of life.
Okay. Oh, that one.
Yeah, what is the breath of life?
That's an interesting concept because I had this conversation with a guy at my church recently, and he said all the way down to the cellular level, when a cell dies, everything is still there, but it's not alive anymore. You know, so I mean, what actually produces life?
Okay.
You know,
So we got the Holy Spirit, we got Jesus, we got, what'd you say?
God Himself.
God Himself. Anybody else? Breath of life. What is it?
yeah.
Animal.
Well, the question is, what is the breath of life?
Okay. All right. Okay.
We got to figure out what it is first.
We don't know.
Okay, so we got Jesus Himself, we got the Holy Spirit, we got God, we got His name. Okay. Is the breath of life the Spirit of God? Are they the same thing? No? Yes? What do you guys think?
No, because when he breathed life, that was Old Testament. And then you have to have the Spirit after he I mean, I don't know.
What do you guys think?
I think no.
Well, when he breathed the breath of life, he became a living soul,
Living being.
a living being.
Yeah.
I thought it was soul. Well, anyway.
Some translations say soul, but when you go to the original biblical Hebrew, it's living being or living creature.
So the breath going into us becomes a soul. So it has to be.
So the question is, what is the breath of life? And then my question was, is the breath of life the Spirit of God?
I don't think so.
You don't think so yet? Okay. No? Okay. Isaiah 57:16. I'm just throwing verses so we have reference points. Okay? I have to 57:16. I have to make sure that this holds water and that I'm not just spewing. This is what the verse says. Are we ready? Okay. For I will not contend forever, neither will I always be wroth, angry. Okay? For the Spirit, ruach, in Hebrew, would fail before me, and the soul's neshama, which I have made. It's Isaiah 57:16. Again, referring to the breath of life. Now, what is neshama? Neshama is a part of the soul that longs for God. It's a part of the soul that wants to be in communion with God. Okay? This is the part of humanity that animals, I'm going to say they don't have. Okay? The reason why I say this, the reason why humanity, the reason why you're here is because you're wanting to figure out more about God. You know that there's more out there. You know, you don't see an animal and an animal doesn't say, what is my purpose? Okay? An animal doesn't create a 10-year plan. You know, they don't do these things that humanity does. Why? Because they don't have neshama. That's the part of us that wants knowledge and understanding. That's the part of us that wants to grow. The reason a person goes to college and they go to get a degree and they don't know, but they're searching for something more. They think it's going to fulfill them. Little do they know that God is the only thing that will fulfill them. So they go and they go and they go. And this is the part of the soul that longs for God. So that is by definition, you will never be satisfied unless you are one with God. That's why Christ came. Okay, we'll get there. So does that make sense? You have the part of you that connects. Go for it.
Well, you're saying what is the breath of life, and that was in reference to Genesis 1:7, but that's nefesh. And now you're saying the breath of life in referencing to neshama.
No, Genesis 2:7.
Yeah, I missed the difference between them. They're both breath of life.
Okay, so let me answer a question. Genesis 2:7. The breath of life there. It's nishmat shayim. It's not neshama ruach. Why is it like that? Because the author wants you to know what's being created. It's not concerned with what it's given. It's concerned with the creation itself. Okay? In Genesis 7:22, the author is more concerned about what's being taken from creation. So that is why we see neshama ruach, because those are the things being taken from creatures. Does that make sense? Biblical Hebrew, the things change depending on what the author is trying to get across. And that's what we have to understand. And it takes a while to understand that.
Yeah, I've never studied it that way.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. But that's why it switches up on you. You have to realize that the author is focusing in on one thing, so a word changes. So let's pause. Let's pause real quick so we don't get super confused. Okay? You have a soul. Nefesh shaya means living being. Shaya means life. Okay? Nefesh is the being, is the creature. So it's saying that the being has life through the form, which is the dust. It's the form of man. Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense? And nefesh is the part of the soul that connects to the earthly body, the natural body that we're going to learn about. Okay? Then you have neshama, which comes from the breath of life. Neshama and ruach. That is the breath of life. And we got to figure out what these things are. So far we know that the neshama is a part of the soul that has a longing for God, it has a longing for understanding, it wants knowledge, it wants to get closer to God. Well, we don't know that that's what we're trying to get close to because, we've been deceived. What do you say?
I think the disconnect is when you say soul.
When I say soul, I'm talking about you. Okay? So you're a soul. You're not the body. Yeah, go for it.
So neshama, the
Yep.
desire for the longing of man to want God. So
It's not a desire. It's not a desire. Soul doesn't have a desire. It doesn't have a will.
Then what's neshama? You said it was.
It's a longing.
It's okay.
It's a natural.
It's a natural longing for God.
Yeah.
So when and what is the assessment of whether that has been fulfilled?
What is the assessment of whether or not that's been fulfilled? We're going to get there. Okay? I have to go over ruach first. Okay, we're going to get there. Don't worry. This will all make sense at the end, I promise.
When we get all done, you'll know.
You got to, and when I was studying this out, you should have seen me in my room. I looked like a crazy person. So I was like, this doesn't make sense. Until I figured it out, and that's at the end. Okay? I promise.
You guys know that that's the process for all of you. You all have to go through that process.
Okay.
The fact we don't want to go to that process, we have to go listen to someone who actually went through the process.
Let me give you some reference points. Job 32:8. Let me know when you're ready for me to read it. Job 32:8. You guys get that? Ready?
Yes.
Okay. But there is a spirit in a man, and the breath of the Almighty gives him understanding. Spirit is ruach. Breath is neshama. So we know that there's ruach in man, and the neshama is what gives man understanding. Right? Is that what that verse says, or am I just talking nonsense?
It's the one that gives understanding, but in fact it started off being just a longing.
I said understanding too. It's the part of the. Okay. I mean, there can be several characteristics to it. Okay. Proverbs 20:27. Let me know when you're ready. The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. That word spirit is neshama. It's not ruach. It's neshama. Okay? So the neshama is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. We understand nefesh a little bit. We understand neshama a little bit. This is where it's going to get very not simple at all. Okay? We're going to go over ruach. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Because the moment I bring up anything that refers to a spirit, the first thing that people do is they think demonic or possession, something evil, every time. Okay? Let's get that mindset out of the way. Okay, let's just go over the terminology first. and then we'll go over what it's doing to us and all that stuff. Ruach comes with the breath of life. Ruach refers to the spirit of a man. It is what gives, it is what allows the soul. The Ruach is not a part of you, being the soul. The soul is one with Ruach, which is the spirit of a man. What does that look like? The soul, you cannot animate your body without Ruach, because it's an animating life source. Okay? So it allows you to animate the body. Without it, you will return to dust. Okay? You need Ruach.
Question.
Go for it.
Is that like Shia? What's the difference between Shia and Ruach?
Shia?
You know,
Shayim.
What was it? It was like Nefesh, living.
Oh, Nefesh Shaya, that's life. That's just, it's describing that the creature is living.
Right.
It's not life itself.
Yeah.
It's a descriptive term. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Adjective. Yeah. Okay. Ruach. Okay. It's a spirit. Okay. A spirit is not a person. Okay. It is an animating life. This spirit is not a person. It's an animating life force. It's what allows you, the soul, to animate the body. You take Ruach from an individual, dead, no life. You'll see dust. Okay? If I took Ruach from you, or in your case, it'd be the Holy Spirit. If I took it from you, you would return to dust. Your mortal body would be dead. Okay? Let me break that down. It says, then the dust will return to the earth as it was. And the Ruach, right? It says spirit, but it's Ruach, will return to God who gave it. Another verse. Psalm 104, 29 through 30. Ready? It says, you hide your face, they are troubled. David's talking about God, okay? You hide your face, they are troubled. You take away their breath, Ruach, they die and return to dust. You send forth your spirit, Ruach, they are created and renew the face of the earth. Okay, do you guys see that?
So Ruach refers to.
We know, here's what I'll tell you. And I didn't want to get to this yet. But we know that it's not referring to the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? So we know that it's not referring to the Holy Spirit. Also, we know that it's not referring to the Holy Spirit, because if it was referring to the Holy Spirit, then that would mean that all of creation has the Holy Spirit, because all of creation has the breath of life. And we know that's not true. Okay? So just because it says, you send forth thy spirit, doesn't mean that he's talking about the Holy Spirit.
Because essentially, God breathed man's spirit into him, or Ruach is a gift initially anyway. So it came from God, all life comes from
Just
God.
because it comes from God doesn't mean that it's the Holy Spirit.
Thank you.
And we learn
I
in
just needed that clarity.
yeah, and I'm going to get there. We learned that in Ezekiel 36. We're going to get there, but it says that he's going to send us his spirit, and I'm going to break that down later, okay? But we got to remember that Ruach is not God's spirit. It's man's spirit. It's the spirit of a man that is fallen because of the fall, okay?
So in Genesis 6, when he says, my spirit shall not always strive with man, he claims it's his spirit, but what you're saying is this is his breath that he says his spirit.
I'm saying that everything is God's.
And when he says
So just because he's saying my spirit doesn't mean he's referring to his Holy Spirit.
Well, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, does he refer to Ruach as his spirit?
In Genesis, what did you say?
6. He says, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for he is also flesh, and his days will be 100.
Okay, and you're asking,
So can God say, when he says his spirit, could he be talking about his breath? Because we know it's not Holy Spirit.
it's not Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So when
He's
he
referring.
Says,
He'd be referring to the breath of life.
yeah. So, but when he says my spirit, right? According to that, what in Hebrew would we assume that it says Ruach, but in English we hear him say my spirit.
Right. Uh-huh.
No, it's just what I was saying.
Well, yeah, this is why it's important that you go to the original Hebrew, because you have to understand what he's speaking about. This is why we have confusion, because you read that and the first thing we think of is Holy Spirit when he says my spirit.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, is he referring to the Holy Spirit? Because if he is, then he's saying that Holy Spirit is in creation. We know that's not true.
Wouldn't he say like, my spirit if it's his Holy Spirit and your spirit if it's not his, I mean, it's our spirit? Or
I
no?
mean, I would
You
think
don't
that
have to
that's
answer,
how.
I'm just-
Well, I mean, I would agree with you.
Yeah,
I mean, why doesn't it say that?
right.
Right.
So I would probably think that it would be
Mhm.
his Holy Spirit, but,
But we know it's not.
oh, it's not. Okay.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no,
then
no.
that doesn't make, okay, I'll
Because
think
that
about
spirit
that.
would make man holy if it was.
Yeah, we know that it's not the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
You're asking why he said it a certain way.
Right.
But,
That's okay, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. Here's another reference point, and then we're gonna start transitioning. Numbers 27, verses 15 through 16. It says, "Then Moses spoke to the Lord, saying, Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation." The reason I pulled this verse is because it says all flesh. So we know that this spirit that it's referring to is in all flesh, according to this verse. So the God of the Ruach of all flesh sent a man over the congregation. Okay, these are just reference points. So we know that man, before he's born again, he has a spirit, which is Ruach. We know that a man, before he's born again, he's a soul. He has Nefesh, the part of him that connects to the body, its instincts, its desires. And then we have Neshama, the part of him, or the soul, that has a longing for God. He wants to understand. He doesn't know that what he's wanting to understand is God, but he's finding it and he's just searching. Okay? Like an atheist. Okay? He's wanting to understand creation. So he goes to science, and it's the Big Bang, and it's this or it's that. Okay, that's the neshama part of him trying to figure out why.
Would it also be like why we worship idols?
Sure. Or
you turn to drugs because you just think that's what the case is, or something like that.
Yeah, this is the part. This is the part. Neshama is the part that I believe that animals don't have. Okay, because we're the ones that are set apart from. Okay. Ready? Ezekiel 36. I'm going to read all of it. 36 verses 26 through 31. Okay? I'm going to read all of it. This is going to tell us what God is telling the house of Israel He's going to do for them. Yep, Ezekiel 36 verses 26 through 31. And remember, God is talking to people who are not born again. Okay? These people who are not born again. So we have to go into their mindset right now. Okay, they're not born again. They don't have the Holy Spirit. Okay, they have a spirit, but it's fallen. Okay? Ready? I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will take the heart of stone out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. Pause. That word in Hebrew is shok. Statutes is shok in Hebrew. What does that mean? It means portion. It's going to allow you to walk in God's portion and His status. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's keep going. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will keep my judgments and do them. Then you shall dwell in the land that I give to your fathers. You shall be my people, and I will be your God. I will deliver you from all uncleanness. It's a big word. And I will call for the grain and multiply it and bring you no famine upon you. I will multiply the fruit of your trees and the increase of your fields, so that you need never again bear the reproach of famine among the nations. Verse 31. Then, so mind you, he's saying, after I put my Spirit within you, and after you are now allowed to walk in my statutes, then you will remember the evil ways and your deeds that were not good, and you will loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and your abominations. What does that sound like?
Guilt.
It's guilt? Sounds like conviction. The conviction of the Holy Spirit is what this verse is referring to. Okay?
Sorrow.
Huh?
Godly sorrow.
Doubt and sorrow?
Godly sorrow.
Godly sorrow. We know that the Holy Spirit convicts you.
Yeah.
You do something wrong, you beat yourself up. Or the Spirit beats you up, but the Holy Spirit convicts you. Okay? So the Spirit shames you, but the Holy Spirit convicts you. It's a huge difference.
Big difference.
Huge difference. I'll read it one more time. Then you will remember your evil ways and your deeds that were not good, and you will loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and your abominations. So question, did they not have the ability to do that before the Holy Spirit? To feel bad? Was that not a part of humanity?
Unless your conscience was seared.
Because you got to remember that they don't live in the world we live in today, okay? It's completely different. They didn't have the Holy Spirit. They didn't really understand the Holy Spirit or what it would do for them. God tells them, but they don't have an understanding like we do. So you got to ask yourself, did they not have the ability to do that? Unless obviously God was using you, right? It's just a question. What do you guys think?
I remember when
So your soul, you have the breath of life before you're born again. Before you're born again, you have ruach, which is the spirit of the soul. It's what allows the soul to animate the body of sin. And you have neshama, which is a part of the soul who wants to understand and is longing for God. Okay, it's searching. It's part of you that searches for more. Okay. Now this verse, Ezekiel 36, brings in a new spirit. What is this spirit? It's the Holy Spirit. Okay. God's telling His people, I will put my spirit within you. This spirit is the Ruach HaKodesh. Let me write it out so you guys can write it down. Ruach HaKodesh. My handwriting's terrible. You guys see that? Ruach HaKodesh means Holy Spirit. Okay? In Hebrew.